Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the University of Kentucky faces problems caused by the recent bout of winter weather as it works to prepare the campus for the spring semester. And the Lieutenant Governor discusses one of the biggest decisions made in Frankfort this year as we look back in 2022.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Alrighty, almost 6 o'clock here. It's Wednesday. I'm Dakota Makris, the middle of the work week. You know, I think this week is kind of going by fast. I mean, I haven't really done much work around here, honestly. I'm just kidding. I have. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. Brandon, we have our big year in review special coming up, and I've been working on a story for that, and thankfully got it done yesterday.
Yep.
So, and you watched it, made you watch it 1,000 times.
You did, and it's very good. So
well,
I think you'll appreciate it when you get to see that. I know that that's coming up. Not exactly sure when the first air date is, but it'll be in the very near future. All right, let's take a look, see what's going on this morning across the region. We go to UVA Wise. Hey, it's on this morning. Sometimes it just kind of flickers a little bit, but right now we're in pretty good shape over there. It is 30. It's one of the warmest spots in the region. Winds out of the southwest at 7. Visibility in pretty good shape. It feels like 23 there. A little bit of wind out there this morning, giving us a little bit of a wind chill. So they're the warm spot in between two cold spots. 14 down in Jonesville is the coldest spot in the region right now. Some teens in Clintwood, Manchester, and Jacksboro. And then 32 is the hot spot in Logan, Jackson, Hazard, and Somerset right now. Irvin up a degree to 23 over in Estill County. Regional temperatures cold again this morning at Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, both at 29 and 28 respectively. Atlanta's at freezing this morning. St. Louis just below or just above freezing this morning. Columbus, Ohio at 27, 23. In Pittsburgh, 24 in Roanoke, and 33 in the Big Apple this morning. A little extra on your coffee meter, especially if you are cold-natured. It might be close to max warming needed out there this morning. But your donut forecast, if you're going to grab one on your way out the door, sunshine will greet you. It's going to be a beautiful day, and you'll see temperatures climb near the 50-degree mark a little bit later on. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, across the region, people are having issues with burst pipes and no access to water due to last week's Arctic blast. Our Jordan Mullins talked with Floyd County's Judge Executive about some of the challenges people are facing.
Due to cold weather throughout the region, many homes are without water, including many in Floyd County.
What's happened is the tanks are emptying out. So now they're trying to get those leaks fixed so they can get those tanks, full again and get water back out to the residents in the county.
With approximately 1,000 customers without water in Floyd County alone, service may be out up to 3 days.
A lot of your low-lying areas may have some water, but it's going to take a few days till they identify all the leaks. They get those leaks fixed, get those tanks full again, that they can get water flowing.
But folks are pitching in and distributing bottled water in the meantime.
We're going to do what we can to help Southern Water and our residents to have access to water.
Working together to aid in a region-wide issue.
Today, it's a problem in every county around us. Water is today because of the temperatures. This isn't just isolated to Southern Water. Every county around us and every county, I would say, in Eastern Kentucky is dealing with this same issue today.
And taking care of one another. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the Judge Executive says, along with the old Wheelwright Gym, the Floyd County Community Center in Martin will have bottled water today for people who may still be without service. Well, the recent winter weather has caused several issues in communities outside of our region as well. That includes those working on campus at the University of Kentucky, where they are dealing with burst pipes and electrical problems impacting more than 24 facilities. Well, the university says they are working hard and to make sure problems are solved before the beginning of the new semester. A grounds and facilities team was out in force last Friday to ensure the campus was as safe as possible.
We prioritize what we have to do. We address health care in all clinic areas first, so we make sure that the hospitals are accessible, that all of our clinics are accessible. And then we kind of have a whole priority list that we go through. So we look at, in addition to that, we look at where research is taking place on campus and can we protect the research that's taking place.
The beginning of the spring semester is set to start on January 9th. And officials say they plan to have all the facilities and buildings ready for students when they come back to campus. More issues are possible as the region warms up. Even with preparation for the weather, both commercial and residential customers have experienced plumbing-related complications. Some areas are seeing road closings and boil water advisories as repairs are being completed. However, many homes and businesses relying on private plumbers to take care of their repairs, they're still waiting while dealing with a plumber shortage. Crews are doing what they can to keep up with those emergencies.
We've done our best to try to keep up, and we're fairly large size service company here in town with several vans on the road, and our phones were bombarded this weekend and still are being. We had some exuberant wait times, and we're doing our best to try to help everybody out.
As everything begins to thaw, you're asked to monitor your house for leaks that could indicate a burst pipe. If you do notice a leak or flooding, turn off your water and call a plumber immediately. Governor Andy Beshear says he's heard of many people dealing with burst pipes following the Arctic freeze this past weekend. Well, the governor says all the people still living in travel trailers following the flood are safe. He says some people had to be evacuated to a state park. The governor is also thanking people for preparing ahead of time and staying off the roads during the winter storm.
We can repair infrastructure. We can't replace lost people. So as we move into this new year, just be safe and know that the preparation that you made and that we made paid off.
The governor says as temperatures warm up, it's likely we could see more water pipe issues. Lawmakers in Kentucky head back to work in Frankfort next week. Republicans increased their supermajorities by 6 seats. Governor Beshear says there's work to be done. As Kimberly Kagi reports, he's hoping for change.
Come January, the gavel will echo in the legislature, marking the beginning of a new legislative session. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear hopes lawmakers prioritize education with his Education First plan, providing money for a 5% raise for every school employee, universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds, and restore teachers' pensions.
We fell from 42nd to 44th in teacher pay last year. That is unacceptable, and that's not investing in our future, and it's not investing in our kids. So our Education First plan would provide a 5% raise to every educator, everyone in the public school system, on top of what the local districts are already doing.
In November, Beshear signed an executive order allowing people with certain medical conditions to possess and use small amounts of medical marijuana legally purchased in another state. But he says it's not enough.
People need relief. I did it for the veterans suffering from PTSD that may be having suicidal thoughts, the family with a child with such severe epilepsy that they can't function, somebody staring at a vial of opioids, knowing what it could do and what it's already done to our communities.
And for lawmakers who disagree,
they are ignoring the will of the people.
A new session bringing the chance for change.
That was Kimberly Kagi reporting. The 2023 session of the Kentucky General Assembly begins January 3rd. We recently sat down with Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman, for a look back on 2022. We asked her about the controversial school choice law that was struck down by the Kentucky Supreme Court earlier this month. Well, Coleman says that bill would have hurt schools in rural parts of the state.
A lot of that tax funding, the base is going to go to, it would have gone to Northern Kentucky, Louisville, and Lexington. And so I'm so grateful that the Supreme Court in Kentucky ruled that this type of manipulation of our tax dollars into the private sector is unconstitutional.
Well, the bill would have allowed state money to be used to pay for private school tuition. Kentucky's top election official says voter registration continues to grow across the state even after the November election. In a release, Secretary of State Michael Adams announced nearly 11,100 new voters have registered since November. Meanwhile, more than 7,000 were removed from voter registration polls due to death, convictions, and moving out of the state, among other reasons. Secretary Adams also reminded potential voters if they would like to update their political party affiliation in order to be eligible to vote in the May primary election, that needs to be done by December 31st.
6:09 here on this Wednesday morning, middle of the week. And for some folks, I know I was watching a video yesterday where that week between Christmas and New Year's is like, what day is it? Well, I can tell you it is Wednesday today. All right, let's take a look at our temperatures this morning. Chilly out there. A lot of sensors still offline this morning. Hopefully we can get some of those repaired here pretty soon. But you'll see teens in Clintwood, Manchester, Jonesville, and Jacksboro, and low 30s right at freezing in Somerset, Jackson, Hazard, and Logan this morning. So spots, there's a lot of blank spots on this map now, but you see, again, spots between a few degrees warmer and several degrees colder from 24 hours ago today. Planning for the rest of the day, I hope you like sunshine because we got lots of it. Temperatures head up to right around 50 a little bit later on this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It's 6:10 when we come back here on Mountain News this morning. We take a look back at the national political playing field during a very eventful year. Stay with us. We'll be right back.